Hello students, we were discussing about composition of mapping, and we have already seen that composition of mapping is not commutative. Composition of mapping is not commutative. Today we will see it is associative. Yes, composition of mapping is associative. That is number 2. Suppose let F is a mapping from X to Y, G is a mapping from Y to Z, and H is a mapping from Z to W. Right? Capital W. We will say that yes, we shall show that you see HOGOF is equal to HOG of F. Let us see. Here GOF, F is a mapping from X to Y, G is a mapping from Y to Z. This implies GOF is a mapping from X to Z, and HOG is a mapping from Y to this. Right? HOG, G is a mapping from Y to Z, and H is a mapping from Z to W. So HOG is a mapping from Y to W from the definition of composition of mapping. Now you see GOF is a mapping from X to Z, right? And H is a mapping from Z to W. This implies H of GOF is a mapping from X to W, and HOG is a mapping from Y to W. F is a mapping from X to Y. X to Y. So HOG of F is a mapping from X to W. F is a mapping from X to Y. HOG is a mapping from Y to W. So HOG of F is a mapping from X to W direct. Right? Now you see, that means these two functions have same domain. This implies domain of H of GOF is equal to domain of HOG of F, which is equal to X, and codomain of HOGOF is equal to codomain of HOGOF, that is equal to W. So both these functions have same domain as well as same codomain. So to prove that they are equal, only we have to show that their images are equal. Now you see, for any x belongs to x, HOGOF of x will be what? Yes, it is H of GOF of x, right? It is this, and that is equal to H of G of fx. This is from the definition of composite function. Again, HOGOF of x is equal to HOG of fx. That is equal to H of G of fx. The same thing. You see, Thus, what we get? HOGOF of x is equal to HOGOF of x for all x belongs to S. So these two functions have same domain, same codomain, and their images are equal, right? Yes. So H of GOF is equal to HOG of F. That means composition of mapping is associative, right? So let us discuss some other results. I have already written it. Let us discuss. Yes. Suppose F is a mapping from X to Y and G is a mapping from Y to Z. Number 3. Yes. Yes. We'll wipe out it. Yes. Let F is a mapping from X to Y and Y is a mapping from G is a mapping from Y to Z. Then what will happen? That number 1, if F and G are surjective, then GOF is surjective, right? If both are surjective, then GOF is surjective. How? F from X to Y and G from Y to Z are surjective, right? Surjective. This implies F of X is equal to Y and G of Y will be equal to Z. Yes. F of X is equal to Y and G of Y is equal to Z. And this implies G of, in place of Y, we can write Fx is equal to Z. That means GOF of X is equal to Z. So GOF from X to Z is surjective, right? It is surjective. It is surjective. Okay. Next, F and G are injective. Implies GOF is injective. If F and G are injective, then GOF is injective. How will we prove? Yes, you know the process of proving injectiveness, testing injectiveness. Yes, GOF is a mapping from X to Z. Now for X1, X2 belongs to X. Let GOF of X1 is equal to GOF of X2. And this implies what? G of F of X1 is equal to G of F of X2. And this implies F of X1 is equal to F of X2. Why? As G is injective. Both are injective. Since G is, suppose G of Y1 is equal to G of Y2. This implies Y1 is equal to Y2. Right? That means both are injective. Okay. And this implies, yes, given that both are injective, So G is also injective. Since G is injective, this will happen. And since F is injective, we will have x1 is equal to x2. Thus, what we get? Thus, GOF of x1 is equal to GOF of x2 implies x1 is equal to x2. So, GOF is injective, right? It is injective, right? Then we'll see the third one. Yes, if GOF is surjective, if that means GOF is surjective implies G is surjective. It is surjective. G must be surjective. If GOF, the composite function, is surjective, then G must be surjective. How? Given that GOF from X to Z is surjective. This implies GOF of X is equal to Z, right? And this implies G of Fx is equal to Z. G of Fx is equal to Z. And you see, F is a mapping from X to Y. X to Y. So, what is Fx? It is suppose something, whatever it may be. Fx must be a subset of Y. Maybe. Suppose F is not surjective. Then Fx is a subset. So G of Fx will be a G of subset of Y. And this is Z means this is a subset of G of Y. This implies Gy is equal to Z. Right? We will write it here. G of Fx is equal to Z, but we will write here, but F is a mapping from X to Y implies F of X is a subset of Y. May be equal, may be surjective, but it is a subset of Y. This implies G of Fx is a subset of G of Y, but G of Fx is equal to what? It is given that it is Z. This implies G of Y is equal to Z. This implies G from Y to Z is surjective. It is surjective. So GOF is surjective implies G is surjective. We cannot draw any conclusion for F. Right? If we know that GOF is surjective, we may conclude that G must be surjective. Right? Similarly, if it is the third one perhaps, third one, let's see the fourth one. What is that? If GOF is sub-injective. Fourth one, GOF is injective implies F is injective. It is injective. Right? Yes. will be injective. Yes. G of f is injective implies f is injective. How will you prove it? Proof. Given that G of f from x to z is injective, if possible, let f from x to y is not injective. Suppose it is not injective. That means this implies there exists at least two elements, x1, x2 belongs to x, two distinct elements, such that x1 is not equal to x2, but f of x1 is equal to f of x2. When a function will be injective, f of x1 is equal to f of x2 implies x1 is equal to x2. But when it will not be an injective function, if there exists at least two distinct elements, x1 and x2. Distinct means x1 is not equal to x2, but their images, f of x1 is equal to f of x2. x1 is not equal to x2. It is not injective means this case will happen. We will find such type of elements x1 and x2 in X which are distinct but their images are equal, at least two, right? This is the case. Now this implies fx1 is equal to fx2 implies g of fx1 is equal to g of fx2. Yes, because these elements are the elements of y. F of x1 is an element of y, f of x2 is an element of y, and they are equal, so their images must be equal, otherwise it will be one many, g will not be a function, right? So this is equal to this. This implies g o f of x1 is equal to g o f of x2, right? What happened? Thus we have two distinct elements, x1, x2 belongs to x, such that g o f of x1 is equal to g o f of x2. But this is a contradiction. This is a contradiction to the hypothesis that g o f from x1, x to z is injective. It is given. So this is a contradiction to our hypothesis. This will never happen as g o f is injective. So our assumption is wrong. This is called method of contradiction. Is wrong. Hence, f from x to y must be injective. It must be injective, right? So when g o f is injective, f must be injective. Okay. Now, yes, we will use this composition of mapping to test the invertibility of a function. That means whether inverse of a function exists or not. This is all about your composition of mapping. All these properties of composition of mapping. Yes, okay. Now we will discuss another thing. Suppose it is to be noted. Let f be a function from x to y. If we are able to find a function g from y to x such that GOF is equal to IDX and FOG is equal to IDY, then F is invertible. That means inverse exists. And that G is equal to F inverse, where IDX is equal to X for all x belongs to X, and IDY of Y is equal to Y for all Y belongs to X. That is, IDX and IDY are the identity functions defined on x and y respectively. That is, IDX is the identity function x on x, and IDY is the identity function on y. Right. Suppose, yes, what is, yes, if f is a function, it's a bijective function, we do not know. Suppose f is bijective, we do not know. But we know that there is another function g from y to x. So that GOF is that means this GOF of x is equal to x for all x belongs to x. And FOG of y is equal to y for all y belongs to y. If this case will happen, then we say that f is invertible. That means f inverse exists and it is equal to g, and g inverse is also equal to f. Okay, this is the thing. Now let us discuss another thing. Yes, of course these are all related from the syllabus of CBSE 12th class of CBSE board, but in general I am discussing it, which may be essential for your entrance examination and for your CHSE board students. Okay. Yes. If f from x to y is bijective, if it is bijective, then it is bijective, then f is invertible. It is okay. Yes. Then f inverse from y to x exists and f inverse of is the identity function on x and f of f inverse is the identity function in y. Right? It's very simple to prove. Very simple to prove. Suppose what is given? Given that x to y is bijective. Then f inverse from y to x must be bijective. A भी bijective. How it is defined? That is defined as x is equal to f inverse of y if y is equal to f of x. Where y is equal to f of x, x will be f inverse y. It is defined like that. Okay. So we shall show that f inverse of f is equal to the identity function. Yes. You see, f is a mapping from x to y. And f inverse is a mapping from y to x. So this implies f inverse of f is a mapping from x to x, x to y, y to x, means it is from x to x. Yes, identity function is also maps from x to x. idx is equal to what? X. Yes. Now we shall show that f inverse of f of x such. Now for x belongs to x, right? For x belongs to x, f inverse let y is equal to fx. Suppose let x f inverse of f, y is equal to f inverse of, yes, let y is equal to f of x. This implies f inverse of y is equal to f inverse of f of x, and this implies, yes, f inverse y is equal to what? F inverse y, f inverse o f of x. This is f inverse o f of x, right? And this is f inverse y. Y is equal to fx implies, again, y is equal to fx implies x is equal to f inverse y. So thus what we get? Thus x is equal to f inverse of f of x. This implies f inverse of f of x is equal to I dx of x. And this happens for all x belongs to x. So f inverse f or f is the identity. F inverse of f is the identity function on x. Similarly, we can say that f of f inverse is equal to the identity function on y, right? Yes. And another thing is there. Suppose, yes, f is a mapping from x to y. Another point theorem. You just remember it. Let F from X to Y and G from Y to Z be bijective. Then GOF from X to Z is bijective. Right? In this case, here F inverse, G inverse and GOF whole inverse exists because all are bijective. And GOF whole inverse will be equal to F inverse or G inverse. It is very simple to prove. First try to prove that its domain is equal to domain of this, its codomain must be equal to codomain of this, and images will be same. This is the procedure. So this is the way you can prove that both are equal. Just this is a very important result. GOF whole inverse is equal to F inverse or G inverse. Okay? But this finishes your relation and function chapter. Yes, try to solve all questions. If any doubt, then you go through comment or Facebook and we will solve it if there is any doubt in the exercise. Okay, now we will start the new chapter, that is in the next lecture.